But let's talk about this MVP race, which we kind of alluded to just a couple minutes ago between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Where Lamar Jackson, two-time MVP, is having his best season ever. Like, it's to the point where you can't say anything about this. Josh Allen's having a really, really good season as well. Really, the turnovers are not where they were last year. I don't think everybody thought the Bills were going to take a big step back this year. And as big of a Josh Allen fan as I am, I thought the same thing. I'm very surprised by the way they played. And it was something where I feel like it's kind of funny to say Lamar is having a quiet season because he's not. But I didn't know how much better his numbers were than Josh Allen till like a month ago. And I'm like, man, it's not close. And I said, in order for him to have an actual chance to actually win it, to get past the narrative stuff, will be to come back and win the AFC North, which they did do. They're only a seed behind Buffalo, and they also beat the brakes off Buffalo. I think a lot of people forget that too. I think it was like week 3. It was a blowout in Baltimore on Sunday Night Football, and I feel that Lamar Jackson should be the MVP. I mean, he's got the record between the two isn't that much different. And if you're going to use the record, you should use the head-to-head for when they played this year. It's, and I also feel like it's funny. We look at how the media does stuff. They didn't care about total TDs when Lamar always had the total TDs. Now when we're doing Josh Allen's total TDs to make it feel like a closer argument than it really is. But I also feel like something that we got to accept, which I told my brother, is MVP in both the NFL and the NBA are narrative-driven. We all know that Joel Embiid should not be MVP 2 years ago. That was Nikola Jokic award. Like, people just didn't want him winning 3 in a row. But that was his award. And I feel like if this goes to Josh Allen, I'm pretty sure it will be. I would actually be kind of stunned if they didn't give it to but Josh Allen. From just the way the media is talking about him, it's short time now, which is how MVPs are. You can look at Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan should have way more than 5 MVPs. LeBron James should have way more than 4 MVPs. But we get fatigued with greatness. Giannis won a couple. We don't need you to be getting any more. And then just to do the same thing with Jokic. This year is probably Shea has a legit chance to get in the NBA, maybe even Luka if he can get back healthy. But it's like they anoint people. And it's just Josh Allen's time to be anointed. Me and Bang were talking about the Here Nigga Damn Awards. Josh Allen's going to get the Here Nigga Damn MVP. That's exactly what he's going to get. But Lamar is having an incredible season, and I don't really even feel like it should be a conversation, but it's going to be that. And especially with the way the playoffs go through, even though voting takes place before the playoffs, that's going to be something that's going to factor into it. If the Ravens find their way to the Super Bowl, let's just say the Bills get knocked off by the Broncos, and he still wins MVP, it's going to be an even louder thing. Tosin, what's your opinion on this? Obviously, pro Lamar, but just all the discourse surrounding this. What has that been like for you?
In a weird way, it's so funny to hear this shit. Like, I remember last year when we signed Derrick Henry, and everybody's like, "Oh, Derrick Henry's washed, whatever," and I was just like, "No, he's really not." And the fact that Lamar's done this with Gus Edwards, he's done this with a hurt J.K. Dobbins, and done this with, with Mark Ingram when he was like hurt, and it's like, yeah, he's finally got a great running back, but it's like, yo, we finally got pieces around him for once. He won MVP Willie Snead as wide receiver. That's insane. Like, he won a unanimous MVP with Willie Snead. And it's like he's progressively gotten even better each year. And I think that this year he's just taken everything to another level. I mean, if you really want to see his highlight, the thing for me that really showed like what Lamar is when he played against Trey Hendrickson, when he stiff-armed. Remember that in Cincy when we beat them, and he like stiff-armed Trey Hendrickson and still found Isaiah Likely in the end zone. So it's like, this guy is showing you week in and week out, like he's just that much better than everybody else in this position. But I get it. It's boring that like he's doing this week in and week out and hasn't done the Super Bowl. So I understand everyone's fatigued with him. But it's also one of these things where it's like, this is the first year ever in the Ravens history we ever had a Pro Bowl wide receiver, by the way. So just goes to show you that like he's been doing this for a while. But I get it. Josh, no one really expected the Bills to be where they're at this year, losing Stephon Diggs. And I get it. Josh has been great. He hasn't been turning the ball over like we usually see him do. So I won't be shocked if they give it to him, but I just don't like the narrative around Lamar. Like, just like they did the whole like total stat for the year. I'm like, whenever we ever seen anybody in NFL do somebody's like total stats for the whole entire like year, like a calendar year, like, that's super weird, but that's the narrative for you. It is what it is.
Mikey, man, what you think about how narratives get placed in MVP conversation. I know you said just earlier about the NFL and the NBA being the only leagues that do that, and even more thing that's kind of knowing about NFL MVP. It's only for quarterbacks. It's not even
Right.
because if we're doing everything, Saquon should be in this conversation as well. Just what's your thoughts on just the race that we've had this year?
I mean, like I said, it's crazy because Lamar is having a better statistical year this year. This is his best year of his overall career, better than the years that he's won MVP, and he won't win it. I just think it is kind of somewhat of a voter fatigue. And it comes down to the same. It's the very same situation with Jokic and Embiid. And it's unfortunate. I think Josh Allen, and this is not to take anything away from Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen has played amazing. I think his supporting cast, wide receiver wise, I think a lot of people expected them to take a step back offensively due to losing Stephon Diggs and going with a rookie Keon Coleman, having faith in in Shakur, who was like a third round pick. Like they were banking on a lot. It was supposed to be a quote unquote down year for them, but it's just unfortunate. I really don't feel one way towards it. I just think Lamar is hooping, and he's deserving of it. I think, like I said, Joe Burrow's deserving of it. I think Saquon Barkley's deserving of it. It'd be interesting. I don't know if we've ever had co-MVPs.
It was 2003. It was Steve McNair and Peyton Manning.
And Peyton Manning, right? I don't know if the NFL has an appetite to do that in today's day and age, but this would certainly be a year, I guess, that you can kind of go for that.
Yeah, there was also Brett Favre and Barry Sanders in '97.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
And I think it's just going to come down to some of those voters that that might not necessarily want to see Lamar hoist another one up.
I want to see a nigger win another one. That's how that's no according that's how they voting.
I just wasn't expecting that. That was
Bang, man. What's your thoughts on this MVP race? That's how the niggas at Cracker Barrel be talking.
Because you just took the words out of my mouth. That's the only reason why I think Josh Allen's gonna win this shit.
I thought we were Mississippi for a second.
Like, look, man. To me, man, that's the only reason why Josh Allen gonna win this shit. It's his nigga damn also added to the fact that we can't have this brother of color winning all of these joints. Like we got to give him something. Lamar Jackson is having one of the greatest seasons, one of the greatest quarterback seasons in NFL history. The stats prove that. No matter how good of a season Josh Allen is having, the season that Lamar Jackson is having is unprecedented. And we're not going to give that the MVP award? That tells me everything that I need to know. It's a little bit of fatigue. It's a little bit of hit nigga damn, man. God damn, Josh Allen got to win something. And then there's also, it's also on that shit too. Right? And I'm not going to specifically say which one that I believe is like which person talking head you see on TV fits one of those bills. But I will pick on Dan Orlovsky on this one. He's in the here nigga damn category. Like he's like, yo, we gotta give Josh Allen something. And that's what I don't like about a lot of these postseason, these just seasonal awards. Because a lot of it is, this person is deserving, but a lot of it is also like, man, he got a couple already. We gotta give him something. Like Karl Malone, here nigga damn. Charles Barkley, kind of here nigga damn. Who else is one of Steve Nash, here nigga damn. Like there's a lot of here nigga dams in the history of getting awards. So when you look at Lamar Jackson and the season that Lamar Jackson has had, and you really having a conversation about Josh Allen this year, man, here nigga damn.
So cool. Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Get in Paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line.